Morning guys, everything new under the sun. Here's an update to the Syrian situation, the S300 and the F-35 fighter jets. And the charger's not working on my computer. Okay, there we go. Alright, so I heard today there was a comment on one of my videos that an F-35 was shot down. I could not immediately find any evidence towards that, but I have found some more interesting information about some updates I think you'll be very, very interested in terms of Russia's involvement nuclear-wise in Syria. We're going to take a look at that. Here's the first one from begotten. The U.S. to give Israel more F-35s to face the S-300S system, deploy a squadron in the Emirates. So they apparently are confident that the F-35 can evade the S-300 system. Donald Trump has ordered the additional F-35 stealth planes supplied forthwith to Israel in response to the 4 S-300 air defense batteries Russia has sent to Syria and its upgraded electronic warfare measures, EW. I know a lot of people made fun of me for that, but the article didn't explain what EW meant to begin with. Usually they start with the full terminology before they use the short form. But yes, EW stands for electronic warfare. The decision was taken, our sources reveal, after consultations between Washington and Jerusalem at the highest administration and military levels on the enhanced threat the recent Russian steps presented to the Israeli air operations against Iranian targets. It says the F-35s will be drawn from the U.S. Air Force active service squadrons, just as the S-300S from Syria came from Russia's operational air defense. So they're taking out of their existing operational stock. You would... Us civilians will call them used. They're used planes, effectively, that they're giving to Israel, although they're basically brand new. But they were in use before. They're not kind of in their wrappers still from the store. The second article that I want to look at, and I was correct in this, I suggested before that Russia would start controlling the S-300 because of the IL-20 plane downing that killed 13 or 14 Russian servicemen. I suggested that Syria, the Syrian military had control of that, and after the downing, Russia would likely take control so that this mistake wasn't made again. Sure enough, here's the article from debka.com. Syria's S-300S are being integrated into Russia's national nuclear C-3 command and control system. Russia is taking control of the skies. They have integrated the S-300 in Syria with their own air defense systems, where before it was operated generally, in my understanding, by the Syrian army, Bashar Assad's government. And this is significant because now Russia's nuclear command nuclear command and control system now controls the S-300 in Syria. Excuse me, I had to clear my throat there, so I'm not coughing in your ear. This is interesting because I said this was coming. This is a fascinating turn of events. Now that Russian nuclear forces command the S-300, we know there's nuclear weapons used in the Middle East, in Israel. Zechariah 12, I believe it is, speaks to nuclear weapons being used. We have an understanding that a nuclear weapon will be used in Damascus, too, in terms of Isaiah 17. When Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu said October 2nd that the unified S-300 air defense systems in Syria will be installed by October 20th, that's coming up in about a couple of weeks here, he really meant its integration with the Russian homeland system. So up until October 20th, it will be the Syrian Syrian military that's controlling it. This element of his report to Putin is the key to the real import of Moscow's response to the downing of the IL-20 spy plane. Again, that's what I said. After this, Russia's going to insist on controlling S-300, and basically they control skies over Syria and part of Israel now because they will have control of this system. It goes on here. Debka's military intelligence sources report that Putin seized on the disaster to establish in Syria an advanced air defense weapon. So they use it as an excuse to move in their own systems and to integrate their systems with Syria's under the guise of not having a mistaken shoot down again. So the weapon system linked not only to Russian Maiman air base in Latakia, but integrated with Russia's own C3 command, control, and communication system against nuclear attack. This is not me, this is Debkafile saying this. I predicted this a number of days ago, a number of videos ago. This move is a strategic game changer for American and Israeli operations. They are no longer taxed with staying clear of Russian and Syrian missile batteries in Damascus, Isaiah 17, anytime you hear Damascus, but are facing their first direct contest with air defense systems which defends Russian cities. So now they're completely integrated. They're effectively, as they fly against the S-300 systems in Syria, they are now directly flying against Russian C3 command and control center weapon systems and operators and military operators in Russia, basically, who have eyes and ears now on the ground, in the air, in Syria. Shoigu seemed to offer details on the S-300 delivered to Syria. He mentioned 49 units of radar, basic target acquisition systems, command posts, and 4 launchers. But he carefully omitted to reveal how Syrian and Russian air defense networks will be linked to the command and control center in Russia and how exactly they function together. A critical question remains open. Is the Syrian S-300 system fully integrated with the Russian homeland C3 or only partially? The C3 is pretty much unknown quantity for Western intelligence since military engineers have been working tirelessly on upgrades for some months. And so now we're getting this integration presents an issue for Israel, for U.S., where they don't know what this is going to mean for their own intelligence systems, for their radar systems, for their jamming and avoidance systems, radar avoidance systems. They don't know what this means in terms of the greater visibility that the Russian spy satellites and Russian intelligence networks and surface-to-air systems and radar systems. They don't know what this means in terms of Israeli air support and superiority in Syria. So this is a game changer. This is big news in terms of the S-300. So pay attention. And it finishes up here. Moscow has therefore substantially raised the stakes of the military contest between Russia and the United States. And again, the United States doesn't show up in bioprophecy, so it's Russia against Israel. Israel will be start getting overrun. This is all in Ezekiel 38. When the hooks in the jaw are finally set and Russia decides to march against Israel. I believe they decide to march against Israel after Israel does a nuclear strike on Damascus, Isaiah 17. Putin has chosen this arena to directly test Russia's air defense capabilities against the F-22 stealth plane and Israel's U.S.-made F-35 Adir superplane to find out which comes out best. So now it's a testing ground to see if U.S. technology with the F-35 can beat the S-300 air defense system. Based on that, Russia will automatically know if Russia's own S-400 system will be able to detect enough the stealth planes, the F-35, etc., and overwhelm it. So we see an arms race happening in the Middle East, testing grounds basically for the highest level technology, highest military technology over the air, or in the airspace rather, of Syria, over the landmass of Syria. This is all related to end-time Bible prophecy, Ezekiel 38, Isaiah 17, all coming to fruition. There's now a direct battle in terms of, there's a direct battle between U.S., Israel, and Russia now because the systems will be integrated in terms of Syria and Russia, so Israel will be fighting directly against full-out Russian nuclear command and control operations centers and defense systems. Guys, this is big news, big events happening in these last days. I hope you know Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior because He's coming back soon. And what these wars or rumors of wars tell us is that we are so very close to some of the big prophetic wars. And once those start happening, the dominoes will fall very quickly, and you will run out of time very quickly if you haven't found Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. Thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe. Please share the video. Let me know what you think, and please comment below. And we'll see you guys in the next video.